have with me in the studio Emmanuel Oshideko. Thank you very much, Emmanuel, for joining us.
It's my pleasure. Good morning.
Great. And I have Chris Kendingwandu joining us on Zoom. Chris, good morning.
Can't hear you.
All right, CKN, I guess you can't hear us yet. Okay, we'll fix that. We'll fix that as we get along. Now let's start with Nigeria News Direct. News Direct says alleged VAT evasion. FIRS appoints banks to recover 1.8 trillion naira from MultiChoice. We're yet to receive FIRS notification. MultiChoice Nigeria is replying on that. Okay, let's move on to the Blueprint newspaper. Blueprint newspaper says CDS Irabo on insurgency, 8 others. We can't use old tools to defeat new threats. The Chief of Defense Staff is saying that we can't use old tools to defeat new threats. Okay, we have that on that blueprint. Daily Trust is next. How mop-up by agencies, neighboring countries push food prices up. How mop-up by agencies, neighboring countries pushes food prices up. Okay, and then you see on the front page there, you see a rice pyramid there. It's really interesting. It looks good. The pyramids may be coming back, or maybe they are, okay. That's Daily Trust. Leadership newspaper. 48 hours after a kidnap of 140 students, bandits 15 in Kaduna. Bandits abduct 15 in Kaduna, rather. 48 hours after kidnap of 140 students, bandits abduct 15 in Kaduna. It's really, really troubling there, right? From the Leadership newspaper, let's go to Daily Sun. Nigeria's democracy at risk. British government warns. Nigeria's democracy at risk. British government warns. It says a 2023 election under threat. Violence eroding people's livelihood, as the governors are saying this. Okay. From there, let's go to the Punch newspaper. The Punch is focusing on the Kaduna Baptist School students. Parents panic as bandits threaten starvation, demand 30 bags of rice. Parents panic as bandits threaten starvation, demand 30 bags of rice. List: imported rice, 10 bags, local rice, 20 bags, beans, 20 bags, Maggi, 10 cartons, 10 kegs of oil. The PTA school raise fund, items ready for delivery. Bandits call being awaited. Prayers hold today. PTA school that's the PTA and the school. They're raising funds and items are ready for delivery. So all the bags, 10, 20. It's really troubling, I must say. The Guardian newspaper is next. Federal government to clamp down on ARIC by Courtney as debts hit 37 billion naira. Okay, that's the Guardian. The Vanguard newspaper says Nigeria heading for insolvency with new loans. Experts are saying this. Fault continuous borrowing to finance consumption. Say 410 naira to a dollar exchange rate assumption unrealistic. Pressures coming from exchange rate volatility. Okay, from there let's go to the Nigerian Tribune. Tribune says PDP mocks Onochie as she denies membership of the APC. Fireworks in Senate at her screening for INEC job. All right, that's the Nigerian Tribune. The Nation is next. Eminent Nigerians, military force alone can't end insurgency, or insecurity rather. Eminent Nigerians are saying military force alone can't end insecurity. Abdulsalami, Fayemi, along others give tips. We need new tactics, says the Chief of Defense Staff, General Irabo. UK warns on danger ahead of 2023. Right? That's the Nation newspaper. First News is next, and it says rising conflicts can destabilize Nigeria before 2023 polls. British government is warning continually on this. Let's go now to the Village News. The Village News is saying that gambling now serious addiction in Ogun State. Housewives, school children use pocket money to bet. Gambling is now a serious addiction in Ogun State. Housewives, school children use pocket money to bet. We'll certainly be talking about this as we open the discussion. National economy is next. It says federal government unstable deadlines for national carrier dampen public expectations. Federal government unstable deadlines for national carrier dampen public expectation. That's national economy. Business day is next and is the last one we're looking at. France on charm of offensive woos Nigeria business leaders. Okay, that's business day. All right, let's get into the discussion now. And I'd like us to start from the Village News and some of the stories coming out from there. Let me start with Chris Kainingwandu, if you can hear me now. Chris, can you confirm that you can hear me? If you can, let's look at the story on the front page of the Village News. Okay, the Village News says gambling now a serious addiction in Ogun State. From the reports here, it says housewives and school children, even school children, are using their pocket monies to bet. I wonder how troubling this is to you as you hear this.
Yeah, always I don't know. I don't know what you know because gambling is happens 50-50. A year.
All right, Chris, I'm going to put you on hold because we can't hear you clearly. So we'll certainly come back to you as we get along. Now, Emmanuel, I wonder how this comes to you.
It's definitely troubling. Unfortunately, it's not peculiar to Ogun State.
Exactly. It seems to be everywhere these days.
It's a national problem.
Wow.
The gambling organizations are capitalizing on the bad economy and the greed of the people to open more shops. And you come to realize that we have gambling outlets more than the gamblers themselves. Everybody is turning into gambling, and with the hope that one day they will hit it big and they will make it big. At the end of the day, you realize that most of them, they end up spending what is enough even for them to start up and become somebody in life. It's an addiction, and I think the worrisome part is that underage people who are not 18 are taking part. That is a form of illegality. And when you visit some of these shops, you see that they are not discouraging children from even coming into the place. So it is it calls for attention of the government at all levels, irrespective of the state and the standard. Else, you realize that the addiction may not be curable with time.
But I wonder what, because this addiction, I wonder what is fueling it, because if school children go to school and they're given monies by their parents to go to school, use as pocket money for whatever you want to use it for, and then you get to the road on your way to or on your way back, and you decide to, stake the money on some kind of what is fueling that?
The society has not been encouraging at all. The get-rich-quick syndrome, cybercrime, even politicians, the flamboyant lifestyles of these ones make people think that why toe the serious part, why focus on education, why focus on hard work. You come to realize that these days we don't have artisans like we used to have. You don't have your mechanics around because everybody wants to make money and they want to make it now. So it's either they engage in cybercrime or they gamble. And when they see that,
so they can hit some lottery.
Yes, once in a while somebody has made it big, they pray and hope that their time will come.
Okay, Chris, let me come to you now. I hope that your audio is in place now. You were making a point regarding the story on the front page of the Village News that says that gambling is becoming an addiction, a serious addiction in Ogun State. And Emmanuel in the studio is saying it's not even just Ogun State. It seems it's a national issue right now. What do you make of it, especially when housewives are using pocket monies and students to gamble.
Once again, Mike, can you hear me?
I can hear you now loud and clear. This is amazing. Good,
fine. Mike, it all boils down greed. For me, is greed and nothing else. People just being greedy, and also lack of self-contentment. Greedy in the fact you want to have what you don't have, and so don't forget the difference between demands and needs. So people try to demand what feel like get what they don't have, but when you not try to use what you have to start gambling on what you are not sure of, that is greed. It goes to show the level our moral value. Because come to think of it, I remember when in our days we are going to school, we are giving 15 naira, 15 naira, or even 30 naira in days, maybe 20 naira to enter bus to and and 10 naira to feed the food. And you mean that if I'm going to school, then I get bus stop, I decide to use 30 naira that I'm giving to go to school to start gambling. Then what happens? If I don't get it, what happens? That means I won't school. I might decide to stay somewhere till the end and I go home. And that itself has implication. So to me, everything boils down to need on the of people. And if you come to that it, you come to realize it could be just 110 or even 100. Mike, all these so-called promos that are being done across, since I was on, Mike, have never won one promo. Or even from the telecom company, or I have never lucky. Maybe some people are that lucky. Mike, I don't know how many have won yours. So if I know, I can't.
I've never tried it.
With that. So I want to start getting that. So I think yes. So to me, I think is greed. Then, but also is usually economic down. It's not economic down because most of them know even that the little you have, can mind the little you have, then you be credit. So, I don't want to.
We're losing your audio again.
Companies are making millions and millions out of people.
We're losing your audio again, CKN. All right. Finally, on this story on the Village News, this is really a troubling one if you look at it somehow. But the point there is, what implication, as we round off on this story, what implication will this have if it continues this way, where people are becoming hungry, to make that money quick, like you said?
Nothing more than people plunging themselves into more poverty. And you come to realize that the rich get richer and the poor get poorer. And the vacuum keeps getting wider because the one that sets up a gambling organization is there to make money, and it will capitalize on the greed of the people to make such money. At the end of the day, what they are supposed to use to invest so that they can better their lots will be given out to the gambling organization. That is the primary implication. And when poverty thrives, there will be more insecurity and other societal ills.
All right, the Village News. Gambling now, serious addiction in Ogun State. Housewives and school children use pocket money to bet. Okay, let's move to the Punch newspaper. Punch newspaper says it's focusing on the Baptist school students that were kidnapped in Kaduna. Really troubling, and their parents panic as bandits threaten starvation, and they demand 30 bags of rice. And the breakdown here is what is kind of funny. The list, imported rice has to be 10 bags listed down. Then local rice has to be 20 bags. Beans has to be 20 bags. Seasoning has to be 10 bags. And then 10 kegs of oil. Of course, the children can't finish all these bags of rice and beans and all of these. Obviously, it is the issue of they're running low in supplies and they need more of supplies. What do you make of this?
It is worrisome. The way banditry and terrorism foster these days make one to start thinking that it is truly state-sponsored, like U.S. reports alleged. Because I don't know why somebody will be so calm, somebody who is supposed to, the government is supposed to terrorize the terrorists, but the negotiation is becoming comfortable now. They are not afraid that somebody will, invade them and arrest them. They are not afraid that somebody will truncate their activities. Instead, they are negotiating. It is worrisome. And you come to start wondering that, are these people truly sponsored by the government? Which means do they use to communicate? And why has the government not done anything to stop whatever they are doing, such that they have, they are comfortable to make demands to kidnap people? And this has given encouragement to others who have not even engaged in this to say, no, this is a very lucrative business. Let us start our own band and start kidnapping people and start making demands. At the end of the day, it made news when the Bring Back Our Girls that took place years ago made headlines, because it was first of its kind. Now the news is becoming stale. Kidnapping is becoming, is no longer news, and sometimes some of them are not reported. So it is worrisome that they are doing this, and we are definitely going to heap the blame on the government.
On the government,
yes.
Okay. Chris, let me come to you on this. I hope I can hear you clearly now. On the front page of the Punch newspaper, there is this breakdown of list of things that bandits want the parents to provide. They said 10 bags of imported rice, 20 bags of local rice, beans have to be 20 bags, then 10 cartons of seasoning, and 10 kegs of oil. Now the PTA and the parents and the school are trying to raise the funds, and they said the items are ready for delivery. They are desperate to get their children back. Recall that the governments are saying no more negotiation, and in fact the National Assembly has gone further to criminalize the process of negotiating or paying ransom for people who are kidnapped. How do you describe the situation that the parents of these children have found themselves?
Mike, is quite unfortunate. Let me start with the resolution of the House on the issue of negotiation. I remember that when they came up with that position, we said it was laughable, because laughable is that you not have your person or your child or your nation being kept captive somewhere, and just say you keep quiet and you negotiate. That is the point we got to. And it was also laughable. The governor of Kaduna came out to say we are negotiating with bandits and the rest of them together. I, for one, believe that yes, we should take the fight to the bandits. When the government is in enough to be able to, as the citizen, what do we do? Now we have taken a more ridiculous level by the bandit demands of food. Don't forget what said in it was that before negotiation go on, that is the bandit, the one that kidnapped one person, took one Bethel school, and they say before negotiation starts, we want these items. And the school quickly ran and able to come up with 9 bags of rice, bag of beans, I think 2 cartons of condiments, and send to them and say, no, that is not asking for. If you don't get what we want, the children will not kill them, they will starve to death. That is the situation where we are ourselves, and that country we are finding ourselves. The last report at the UN said that we have about 950 children that are kidnapped within the last few months in the country. That to me is worrisome, and that to me is going to be worried about. But the situation comes so peculiar now that the question now is which school next? Mike, 13 schools have been closed in Kaduna State, the marriage school. Why? Because of the kidnapping and it worries me. How do you kidnap 121 students without any intervention from my security agencies? These are not just people I just back or just kick on your back. These are people, mass level of that you move. I think 121. Unfortunately, last incident, let me also say that 2 military guys lost their lives. 2 military guys lost their lives trying to defend those children, be able to repel the attacks of those bandits. But now it's obvious that what we have a lack of leadership. The society has gone to the wires. Our government have lost all initiative. The security agents have lost all the initiative. I just heard the chief of defense staff saying that we have to develop new strategic ways of going about. It's not for me. I don't know that. That is why I pay them. We are paying our security agents to be able to defend us. Are they doing the right thing? That is where lies the political will to handle situations like this. And for me, that is worrisome. It is just unfortunate why we're trying to move forward and make sure that children in the north go back to school or go to school. They are being kidnapped and being kidnapped on a daily basis, and nothing is being done. It is quite unfortunate that once these children have been kidnapped, we cannot have the will to act. You cannot attack bandits with the children embedded within. That means killing those children. So we go back what we good at, which is either negotiate or to seek some kind of mediation. But how long we can do this? The question will always be, who is next? Which is the next school, and who is the next level of children to be kidnapped? The issue of security is practical every not just in the north, in the south, in the south, everywhere.
All right. Chris, we're still having a little issue with the audio, but let me put you both on hold. We go on a short break, and then we come back to round off on the paper review. Stay with us on TVC Breakfast. All right, you're watching TVC Breakfast, and we are making sense of some of the headlines across Nigerian newspapers. And have with me Emmanuel Oshideko here in the studio, and Chris Keningwandu on Skype. Now, let's look at this before we go. The Nation newspaper has eminent Nigerians saying the military force alone can't end insecurity. This was the same statement 10 years ago. This is the same statement 5 years ago. One would say there's nothing new as far as this is concerned. But this, some writers are saying that we need new tactics, says the Chief of Defense Staff, General Rabo. It was part of what CKN was saying earlier before he went on break. When those who have the responsibility vested on them to do the needful, after they've, they have the skill, they have the wherewithal, they have the resources and all of that, when you hear things, lines like this, how do you interpret it?
I think the level of transparency here is not enough. We are truly honest with ourselves, and we are not deceiving ourselves. The issue of insecurity can be a thing of the past. International organizations and even nations have offered assistance. Nigeria is not the only country that has problem of kidnapping, and people have surmounted these problems in the past. So what did they do? What is wrong with enlisting the help of such ones so that we can, whether we are using force or we are using technicality, whatever assistance they are willing to offer, we should welcome them instead of borrowing money to solve issues that are not important now. Because if there's insecurity, it will affect everything. Economy, schools are closing down now because tackling insecurity should be the priority of the government now. And if tackling means that they go out to seek for international assistance and help, so be it. So whether we are using military force or we are negotiating should not be the issue now. There are ways through which they can even, track these ones, get there, because they communicate. And these days, there is no privacy as far as the internet or phone is concerned. So if they truly communicate, like you said, they are going to deliver those items. Where is the picking point? So if they need to seek help outside this nation, and we need to be honest and transparent with ourselves. If we really want to battle this problem of insecurity, it can be done if we are truly transparent. They know what to do. Yes.
Okay, we have to leave it here now. Thank you very much, Emmanuel Oshideko, for coming on the program. And we also thank Chris Keningwandu. Although we had a lot of challenge with his audio, he joined us on Zoom. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you.
Thank you.